just before day 63 Horde. I don't think Gamestage is very high. Got a couple of deaths. 206. That's pretty high. It's new base. Got 4 setups like this. Just typical ramp base. Not sure what 17.1's gonna do. Still on 17.0. Except for cops. Pretty standard stuff. Although this is the first time I've tried it since changing the lanes to spikes like that. Most of the Blood Moon will path around them, and it sounds like they're here and not this way. Yeah. Nope, I guess they're not going to path around the spikes. Their loss. But I mean, that's pretty much it. They usually get to the corners there. They were jumping before I put spikes. So maybe I'll take the spikes out of that first corner so that they'll go back to jumping, because it makes them very predictable to shoot. As you can see, the damage from those iron spikes is actually quite high. I have not changed that. I did, however, change their health to match, I guess, kind of the normal crafted iron items, and reduced the amount of reflected damage quite a bit. Probably a bit too much if the Horde's going to get stuck on them like this, because you can see it is just murdering zombies over there. I do hear them taking damage though, so maybe they'll wear out before the night's over. Yeah, this is definitely much more than I had intended for the spikes to be doing. Mostly up the health because it's ridiculously low. I mean, they break in 3 reflected hits, or you know, they break down a tier. And given the iron cost, they're not worth it. But like I said, this is not quite what I intended. Too much. Seems like we wiped an entire wave there. This wave coming in. Yeah, it's interesting. They were actually pathing to avoid these spikes before, so I'm not sure what has changed to make them just ignore them now, which, again, is also not intended. So I will probably take the top off of both sides there to stop this behavior. I want them to be able to come here. It's just they're cutting off that corner, getting caught in that spike. Another little lag spike there. Getting worse over time. I don't know if 17.1 will make any difference there. Honestly, the changes that I've read about in 17.1 make me not want to install it. So I'm just gonna wait for it to go stable, kind of see where we're at, and decide then. But the rampant anti-choice stuff that's been going on, it's just not my thing. I mean, this is a sandbox game. I bought it specifically years ago because I wanted to build bases, and every release since the alpha I bought it in has had fewer options for building. That's not a good thing. I don't understand why they would remove player choice. It's not like it's hurting something. If someone wants to hide from the Hordes underground, let them. Who cares? I mean, they literally paid to play the game, and if that's how they want to play it, then why are we stopping? But that's a whole different rant. Wow, it's interesting because, like I said, the damage on those spikes is vanilla. I did not change it, and it is really just wrecking them. That's interesting. Given my current kind of disinterest in the Hordes, though, maybe I'll just leave them. If most of the zombies kill themselves on the spikes, that seems okay by me. I hear you, bird. Oh, look at that, he made the jump. Get out of here. What's up, stupid bird? Someone else made it. Oh, spiders. Yeah, spiders always make this jump. The changes I've seen in 17.1 might actually break that. The spiders might actually stop making this jump, which is funny. It's actually, that white's actually the first time I've ever had any of the normal non-spider zombies jump like that. So that's kind of interesting. I wonder if I was just too close to the edge. Because if you get all the way up to the edge, oh, come on. Like these blocks right here, if you stand there, they will all suddenly jump to that block. It's funny and terrifying and a real bad time. But, you know, whatever. That spider did not make his jump. These guys are so hard to kill compared to the regular spiders. Are they another? Oh, no. Whoa. Nice jump, dude. Yeah. But these are all power attacks, so that's 5 power attacks to kill him without a headshot, just because the angle is bad. But this setup, I actually didn't want to concrete down below. It just looked so much better that I kind of had to, but the concrete is weak to cops. If they take enough damage to get into the explosion phase and then fall down there, they just wreak havoc. And they hit a 6-block sphere, and they hit it quite hard, like that one, and they just kind of destroy everything even remotely nearby. Yeah, see, they've broken that spike, so now they're doing the kind of the jumping thing I was talking about, although it looks like they're just, now they're stepping onto the spike below it. What are you doing up there? Oh, come on, out of there. Why are you so dumb? Okay, so he can't make that jump at all. So I will definitely have to rework that first block. I think I'll just ramp it like this, make that a concrete ramp there. Maybe even the first 2, because clearly they're just going to route there and get stuck. Very smart of them. It's the only side I've done it, but garage doors with the advanced rotation, place them like that. Yeah, see, you can see he was pretty stuck here, and he was happily chewing on this block quite a bit. Hey, here's someone. Oh, it's one of the stupid cop vultures. They're not set up properly for their corpse type to identify, so you don't get feathers or anything from them. They don't break down. That's TFP oversight, and I should probably just fix it myself. You can see cop blew up over here. This is what I'm talking about, the concrete being weak. This is not too bad, but yeah, see, they were same thing. They were getting stuck here. I think I'll ramp the top 2 on either side to stop that. But this is the current base. Garden up there. You can see I put the street lamp crafting back in. I've actually got a mod that re-enables all of the Alpha 16 lights for crafting and a couple of the Alpha 17 lights. I've got my pillar lights mod installed. So like all of these on the inside are candle emitters, and this is a torch emitter. Makes for a real nice ambient lighting. I've chosen to not make them generate heat, but anytime you're using a lot of pillars, candles, and torches and stuff all hang out here in the block space, because this doesn't fill a block, and it just kind of drives me nuts. So I've, way back in Alpha 15, made that mod. This is my 2nd level. All the garden up here. Got everything except beer at the moment, and lots of room left. I'm doing so much corn. I'm actually going to do another side with corn because I've re-added the recipe from Alpha 16 to make gas from the grain alcohol. It's funny because the description in-game still says, matter of fact, I can maybe show. Still says, useful for homemade gas, except they took the recipe out for that in Alpha 17, or who knows what reason. Seems like that's the theme of Alpha 17, is just removing choices and options instead of adding them. But this is my garden. I've got This, again, it's all in the code. It's been in the game since Alpha 15, and they've just removed any access to it. These trellis blocks. Again, I don't know why this is the current trend. We just seem to be going further and further down the path of removing options, choices, even crafting options and choices, and not replacing them with anything. That doesn't seem like a good direction to me. But this is the base as it stands currently. Got a wireless fuse box, so that, you know, connecting to stuff like that is not leaving weird wires draped everywhere. But that's the base at the moment. This side's not even done, just because it's such a big build. I mean, digging is so time consuming until you get to a certain level, and I've gotten to that level. I've got just all the resources I could ever need now. It's just, you know, taking the time to finish it. I'm up to this side. It'll be done soon. And then 17.1 will ruin it, because that's all TFP is concentrating on right now. But anyway, you can see Horde was over really quick. That was 16 spawns. It's actually a difficulty level down, because at Gamestage 200, every POI I go in has got 25 zombies and 10 ferals, and it's just ridiculous. All 5 of my deaths are in POIs like that. So I turned the difficulty down. I don't know. It's the game's kind of in a weird state. Still waiting to see how Alpha 17 settles down. You know, this will probably be the only big build I do in Alpha 17, because every new release removes ways to build an effective Horde base. So why would I sink like this? I mean, I'm 60 hours into this build when you count, you know, gathering and looting and all that stuff, but, you know, probably 30 or 35 hours dedicated to building this base, just because I thought it was an interesting idea and I wanted to do it, and so on and so forth. But every release makes it so that this base, or bases like this, just become more and more of a liability than a benefit. So why in the world would I spend 35 hours of my time building something like this when there's no benefit to me? And when that's the main reason I'm playing the game, why would I play the game at all? I don't know. Maybe a question Joel should ask himself before he chases his audience away. But that aside, thanks for watching. Maybe there'll be another one in the future.